Is it loading?
Hi there, this is Peggy with Custom Art WI. And I'm gonna wait just a minute. I gotta bring up comments. Say hello when you come in. If you're watching on replay, if you could do hashtag replay. If I don't answer your comment in the live, I do go back and I will read it and answer you there. So there, I can see myself. So let's start with ribbon. I've had some questions about ribbon lately, about the 4-inch and problem ribbon. So I brought out some ribbon to talk about. Let's start with this. Where did I do my? Let's bring up my little pin guy here. So this is a really pretty wide woven burlap, but if you see, this is something that will fray easily. I brought out some sheer. I brought out this one. This is another one that likes to fray real easily. And then I brought out something like this. This is more of a satin ribbon. It's not the greatest wire to it, but it is still pretty and it's got a pretty shine to it. So my advice to problem ribbon. So let's start with this one. This one, I wouldn't do the dovetail. I would cut it off, and you can either turn it under, and I would roll this. You're going to have to roll it up a little bit to get rid of that edge. And if you want to put some glue in here, you can glue it. This one does have a really good ribbon, wire, so you can just wind it in. That's what I would do for this one. So this one is really pretty. I have this one in my shop. This one I use at Christmas time, and I do this. I cut it off, and be very careful. Take a lighter, and if you can see that, it does melt. Just be very careful you don't start it all on fire. But now that edge is clean, and you can roll that under as well. So then you just roll that as well. And I would roll it a couple times to get it so it doesn't. So then when you do your bow, you won't see that. You'll see a cute little roll, and you won't see the frayed edge. So that's my tips for getting rid of the icky edges. If, like the buffalo ribbon usually runs thinner, I will cut that in a dovetail, and I will melt it a little bit. Just be very careful it doesn't go woof, because I'm sure some of them are like a polyester thing that might get away from you, but fortunately I've not had any problems with the lighter. Just want to do a little bit and watch what you're doing. So now for like this. This I would use. I wouldn't use it as my first ribbon. I would probably use it as a second ribbon, second in your bowl, to be just the color. If you really want to use this as your main ribbon, I would suggest getting like a burlap, and I should have grabbed one here. Grab another one. Like this is a burlap, but it's got a daisy on it. So if you got a regular burlap, you could run it behind. You could even put a little bit of glue if you wanted them to stick together. And that would give you more of a stable bowl, because you have the strength of your other ribbon behind. or you could just use it like that. Now I have gotten some ribbon that was like an inch, like this. It was very pretty. It had little flames on it, but it was not wired. But I still wanted to use it, so I did take it and put it on like this, and I made the bow like this. So you still had that edge, and you got the strength from this one. So that's another idea if you have like a non-wired ribbon, but you still really like it, because it seems like the non-wired usually has really cute stuff, but it's not very helpful. So that's my suggestions for the weaker ribbon. I do have, I'm going to be using a satin. This is a thinner one. It's very, very pretty. I'll use that one and you'll see how that works out. But I'm going to start with this very, very pretty 4-inch.
Whoa.
And this is one of my favorites because it's a ruby and it's got that really pretty thick glitter to it. I'm out of the red, but I do have the silver in my shop. So this one has a good weight to it. It also has a really nice wire to it. You can either dovetail it or you can roll the edges also, because some designs that roll edge is just really pretty. So I'm dovetailing it. Now you can make your tail as long as you want it. Longer than shorter, because you can always cut some off, but you can't add it on.
Whoa.
So I'm going to make this one, let's do 10 inches. And I'm just going to pinch it there. And I'm going to pinch, twist. And then I'm going to measure out, I'm not sure if you can see that. So I want a 6-inch bow, so I need 12 inches. Oh, and I'm backwards on here. I switched my board around and I got it the wrong direction. Measure backwards. So that's 12 inches. You're going to bring out the 12 inches, you're going to pinch, 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 and let's twist. And now you're going to measure out the same amount. So you can measure it out on a measuring board, ruler, or you can pull it up and kind of measure it that way. I'm having problems with this roll. Let me get this on a holder here. I'm going to bring it up and kind of measure it this way. So you can measure it out exact, or you can hold it up to your wreath or whatever you want it for and kind of judge it on your wreath, how wide you want it to stick out. So scrunch, twist, and if you see this part here, it's like kind of folded. You want that pulled flat. And that one, you always want those flat. Now I'm going to do 2 more of the same. Come on. Scrunch, scrunch. Twist. All the way. You see they're the same. And when I mean same, you want it the same so that when you go around, it gives you the same line all the way around. You don't want it to go in and out on that first roll. So now we're going to get another one, and we're gonna pinch it. And this is going to come down. Now that one's a little bit short, so I'm pulling it out. And then scrunch it some more, and you can, I would suggest just cutting it off a little bit longer than normal, and then we'll go back and fix that later. So there is just 4 loops, which if you're putting it in like a grapevine, you can put it in and then you can put your greens through it. But I'm going to add another red. This is a fine glitter of 2.5. So once again, I'm getting it in here. Ooh, we got a little bit of a, let's pull that. It almost looks like there's some kind of white on that. So I'm going to pull that out, cut off whatever the white thing is on there. And I scrunched, twist, and this is where you can decide if you want the bows the same size, or you can make it about 1 inch. I usually go about 1 inch different, like that, maybe a little more, because you don't want your second color to cover up your first color. So this is about a 6, and that's about a 5 inch. And twist. Twist, twist, twist it all the way around. And we're going to bring that back out. Flip it about the same. And then twist it again. So now you could stop, you could not twist it and bring it down, but I am going to make a center loop. And if you wanted, you could do a 3rd one up in here. Should we make a 3rd one and then a center loop? I'm going to pull that a little bit higher. And then my holder's moving. And then we'll do a center loop. Remember to twist. And my center loop does not have to be the same size. It can be shorter. It can be the same size as this one. That is completely up to you. Just remember to hold them all together here. This is getting quite thick. So now I'm going to bring that down and cut her off. If it wants a cut here. There we go. So now you have this bow that doesn't look very pretty yet because it's all kind of squishy, right? So now is when you need your center. So you can, I use zip ties a lot, clear ones. You would put one on the back like this, and then you'd bring the other one around. So this is the one that you would attach it to. I use these a lot for mesh wreaths. I will use them on grapevines if it's a very loose wreath, because you have to be able to get it in there and back through. You can use floral wire. Pipe cleaners are a good one. I wouldn't use a black one, but that's what I have right now. So you're going to want to bring that around and to the back. And if you want, you can add 2 pipe cleaners together to make it longer, or by the 20 inch, 21 inch. They do have a real long pipe cleaner. So bring it to the back, pinch, and you're going to want to twist the bow. If you twist the pipe cleaner, it's just tightening the pipe cleaner. But if you twist the bow, it's tightening up your bow. And you want it to bow. So now I use a short one. So you can come back and add pipe cleaners on to make it longer. But this is where our bow is at. So for most of us, you're going to want to hold it by that stem. and put your thumb in the middle here, and then you're gonna puff this out. And that is the main thing, to move these ribbon loops where you want them. And I like doing every other. There's little ones here, so that you see all of them. So I have the big one here, and I have the next one here, your big, your second layer, and then you have your 4-inch, 2.5, 4-inch. So I'm gonna get the tails pulled down. And they are wired, so move them where you want them, not where they want to lay. So there is a beautiful red bow. And then we would take these tails, and you can cut the V like this, or you can fold it in half. Whichever way you like the best. Just watch your fingers so you don't clip yourself. So I bring them up. I usually stick my finger in the middle of that ribbon and pull it, because you want it outward, not sinking in. You can do the same with your loops. Push them out. And there is a red one. I'm trying to see. It looks like on camera I have one that's up higher, but there. So now that is how it would be fluffed. But I would not fluff it until it's on your wreath. So put it on your wreath, do what you want, and then fluff, do your final fluff. Hi, Tammy. Go figure you get busy. Yeah, it's that time of day. It's 4 o'clock. Well, 4 o'clock here, 3 there. Tammy, I got in my cup. So cute. This is in my Etsy shop too. This is my favorite one too. This one, that's that ruby red. It is so pretty. I have the 2.5 inch. I'm going to be posting it. It's the chunky glitter as well. I believe it's chunky glitter. And I have to order another case of the 4, but I do have silver. So that is the first one. So that is one style. Put that off and look at my wonderful Christmas, Valentine's Day. I think glitter is just an all year thing now. So my next one, I have a 2.5 inch. And I have some DStevens. That is all full of glitter now. DStevens is a designer ribbon. They come in very thick ribbon. They come in thinner ribbon. They have really beautiful colors. Their price point is a lot more. Where normally a roll might be $10, this might be $20 to $50. This is a thinner one, but it is really, really pretty. Let me grab a fluff box to use on this one. So this is a fluff box. This is used for after the bow is made. So I'm going to make this one on a bow maker, and this is Easy Bow Maker. Normally I wouldn't use the thinner one on the first, but I'm going to on this one because it will work. I'm going to put extra loops. So with the bow maker, it goes down and it helps you scrunch, and then you turn It gives you your measurements on here, so I just slide my hand out to the 6. So a 6 will give you a 12-inch bow. Twist. Slide your hand out again to the 6. Slide it down. Twist. It's like adding an extra hand because it holds it all for you and you don't have to worry about losing it. So in that, 2 seconds, 3 seconds there, I made 4 loops. So I'm gonna dovetail these as I go. This one doesn't fray, so I don't have to worry about the ends. And then we're gonna add the DStevens. I have this sunflower in my shop. I also have a bee DStevens. That's really cute too. So this is my main ribbon that I really, really love. So I want to do an extra loop. So normally you just do 2. You don't have to worry about the top one, but I really want to see this one. So I'm adding the 3rd. And I'm going to bring that one up. These out. You see how the bow is coming together? You can see your layers here. Now for this one, the tail is over here, which is fine because once you have the zip tie, you can pull it over here and it'll look like it was always meant to be there. Now I have, this is a 1.5. It's another glitter ribbon. And these glitter ribbons really have a nice form to them. They really hold their shape well. And I'm gonna go a little bit longer with the 1.5 just because I like curling my ends. So I'm doing 2. And then I'm gonna do I want a 3rd one? I'm gonna do 3 again. Or 4. Because I wanted to get that way. Now if I would have did 3, it kind of would have went over the black one there. And we don't want that. Because I want to show that one off. So my last one, I'm going to add a little more black to highlight the black that's in there. Get these spools back up. So this is a 1-inch. This one you could dovetail, or I'm just gonna clip it off. So this one is black on both sides, but I am still twisting. It's a good thing to remind yourself to keep twisting, but also because you can see like where they sewed it on this side, so we want that side down. So there that is. This adds to the sunflower. So for this one, I am going to go with the black again. And I am pulling and then twist the bow. So now is the time that you would put this on your wreath or whatever you're putting it on. If you're making a bow for like Etsy, I put it on my fluff box. And then I hang my fluff box up and take a picture with it attached to the fluff box. So this is the fluff box. And I painted mine white because I thought it would be really nice for pictures, but the pipe cleaners like to make little scuff marks. So let's get our tails down. And then one of the pipe cleaners goes through the hole. And then this one's not long enough. So I'm gonna add, let me flip that up, add a pipe cleaner to this. Because I'm gonna twist these together and then this holds it down. Let's put that underneath so I don't keep hitting it. So all it does is it really holds it down for you so that you're able to move this stuff around. It's kind of like the same purpose as your bow maker. It gives you your extra hand. And I'm going to do the same here with, I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. I do have it on do not disturb, but I don't know. So we have that one loop tail here that we're going to pull over. I'm going to separate this one. So now these tails, I did curl them. You don't have to. You can do like a wave if you don't like the curls, or do some wave, some curls. Some people pull them all down, but I like to have a little bit of a layering. So now if you wanted to take a picture of that, you could hang this whole thing right on the wall and take a really nice picture, or you could go over and take a picture of it. I would just make sure that you have a good line on it. So that is another way to do a bow. I think this is my most popular way that I do it. So now I'm untwisting it. So if you were shipping this, you would untwist it, get the extra pipe cleaner off of it. For shipping, I add these a little one on the back here. I put that in there, and then I would put one through the bottom of your box, and then I would zip tie them together so it holds to the bottom of the box so it doesn't flip around. So I would add 2 pipe cleaners in the box so that they would have extras to hold it onto something. So that is bow number 2. Set that one there. So now I have, let's do a fall one. I've got a really pretty 4-inch copper and teal, and then a pumpkin gourd one, and then I have some of these sheer ones, and I'm not sure if I'm going to add both or just one. I'm not sure how I like that orange, but let's make the bow first. If I can find the end. So this one is folded. I'm just going to leave that folded. But I want about a 10-inch bow. Tail, sorry. And then we're going to do 12 inches again. So I'm going to make a 6-inch loop, which is a 12-inch tail. And this time I'm only going to do 2 of these. Let's see if that's good. That's good. So there is 2. And then I think I'm going to go with, this is a 50 yard. Put it on the holder there. And scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Twist. And loop. And I'm bringing it in. Twist. And loop. This time I'm only going to do 2 because I have another 2.5. Twist it. That's how I make sure that they're the same. And then scrunch. And cut that off. Scrunch, twist, scrunch, twist, and I'm just measuring it to the other loop. This has been, this and the navy blue has been my favorite for the past 2 falls because it is just a stunning colors. They're very vibrant. That off. So now I'm going to do blue up, that down. So when I go to this side, I'm going to do the opposite. So you have your color flowing. Now this is the orange. See, and I think that's almost too much orange. But I do have this coppery color. And I'm going to add a few loops of this. Now my shear, I would not use a shear in the back unless it had a very bold pattern. And I wouldn't put it on the back because it will just fold and it would disappear into your wreath. I'm going to go a little bit shorter. And I'm going to stick with 2 loops for that. This one, I'm going to do the zip tie. So I'm putting one this way, and so when it comes down, it'll zip. And then I'm going to use a smaller one around. You can use a larger one and just cut it off. So tight. And I try and get the zip tie out of the front. Let's get it to the bottom. Clip it off. So now let's pull the ribbon down. while your tail is down. And this is where you would stick it on something and then fluff it up. Try and get it so your 4-inch is kind of sticking out so you see it really well. So then let's do our ends here. I'm going to dovetail these. Oop, that one didn't go so well. Let's try that again. So this pumpkin is a one-directional pumpkin. So over here, our pumpkins are upside down. So if that bothers you, you can take this and twist it. Right in there, you gotta twist it. And then voila, your pumpkin will be standing up the correct direction. So now our tail down here is also going the wrong direction. So if I really cared, we could cut that off and take it apart and put it in this direction. It's called a faux tail. It's just a fake one. But I'm gonna leave it and I'm gonna just cut this off. And your tails don't have to be matchy-matchy. This one's a little bit longer, this one's a little bit shorter. That is fine. Especially if you're doing like a swag. They're usually one is longer than the other one. So there is just the two of every one. And there's the it's a little easier when it's on something, but there is, let's turn it this way, there is another version. So my last bow, I'm going to do a bee. And this is going to be one that you would use more on like a package, or if you have the top of your wreath, or just the bottom where you don't want long tails. So let me see. I have this cute bee. And I'm going to start with this one. This is that daisy canvas. Dovetail the end. So my bow is going to be 6 inches, so I'm going to make this tail at 7. And you're scrunching it in there and twisting. 6 inches, stick it in there, twist. If I'm going too fast, you can, on replay, slow it down, watch it again. So I'm pulling it out to the 7 and I'm going to dovetail and up. So if you wanted to do a tree topper, this is kind of like the same thing with the tree topper too. You would do kind of like that style. You can have some up to the top. Some bows do go at the top, but you would make your streamers longer. So your tail ends, these tails would be a lot longer. You could make them 20 inches, you could make them, 15. Whatever you feel is enough for your tree. Or you could make it like this, and you could add streamers in, like a faux tail behind. Isn't this adorable, little bees? I love the buttery yellow. So again, we're out at that 7. And I'm gonna put this little bee down, I think, because we don't want him upside down. Let's see here. You might have to be upside down. This works. We're going to do it like that because that one's up. We're going to put him up. Now this one is, if the bow is going down, it would be the wrong way. So you could turn this one like that. But if you're putting it on like a present or something where it's flat or it doesn't matter, you could just leave it. So there's 2 of that one. I'm going to add in a 1.5. Now this tail I'm going to put right in here, and it's going to be the size of your first one. I'm going to bring that in about 1 inch, twist, measure it out about 1 inch, slide it in. This one doesn't have to be twisted because we're going to cut it off. Switch that around. So now I think I'm going to add some of that the black. What did I do with the black? Here it is. Add a little black, and I'm going to put the black up. And once again, I'm going to bring it in a little bit. So this is 6, this is 5. I'm going to put this at about 4. Can you hear my puppy breathing up there? It's not me breathing, that is the puppy. She won't come down, she's at the top of the steps. So that is a 1 inch. I do have some 5/8 inch. I don't have any in my store, unfortunately, but I do love it. And this is just going to be kind of your center loop. So, yeah, I think I'm going to make this one a little bit longer because I'm going to twirl that a little bit. And I'm bringing it in again. Now this, it depends on this one. If you want more loops, we can add more loops because this is going to be the finishing one. And I'm going to cut this one off long. And I'm also going to use zip ties for this one. I can't talk. So there is the zip tie on the back. And then I'm going to use this smaller one, wrap it around. And you notice it's the wrong direction. Flip her over. Oh, this one does not want to go. Come on. Okay, let's try that again. Flip it around. Oh my goodness. That's the one thing with zip ties, you got to make sure you get the right direction of it. They will not zip if they're the wrong direction. Alright. So I'm going to clip that off. And I'm going to move this. I'm going to bring that box back, the fluff box back. And since this one has this, I'm just going to add a pipe cleaner on. And all you would do is stick that underneath. Let's see if it'll go underneath nice for me here. And yes, I'm squishing the bow, but that's quite alright. Because we're going to fluff it back out. If I can get the pipe cleaner out. I should have thought of that when I was zip tying it. Come on. And usually it slides right on through, but of course this one wants to be a pain. Come on. There we go. Purpose is to get it to be where the eye is and then hold it down. There. Now you pull out your tails, and I'm sticking my finger in the middle of them so they curl up. This is where you can straighten out your bows. Oops, this is a little off. Look at how off that was. Ooh. Let's fix that. We don't want that, those loops to be that far off. And that can happen with hand bows or regular ones if you mess up the center loop when you put on the pipe cleaner or the zip tie. Alright, so let's get these all out. Twist that. And sometimes it just takes a little playing around with to get it where you want it. This one's giving me problems. Let's make sure that it's straight. The wires are straight. These 5/8 and 1 inch are really fun to work with. They're fun looping for tails in your wreaths. So let's go like that. And if you wanted, you could do every other as far as loop, tail, completely up to you. But there is another type of a bow, and there is lots and lots of different bows. It's all personal preference. I hope you like this. Let me know in the comments if there's any other questions you might have. But I think I went over a lot today with different types of ribbon, different sizes. The DStevens that I absolutely love. Ferris Silk is really a nice ribbon. They have a lot of different. I do have a lot of Craig Bachmens in my shop. Like these are all Craig Bachmens. If you ever have a color you're looking for, let me know. But check out my Etsy shop. There's tons and tons of ribbon on there. And thank you for coming. Have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow with some ornaments. some little gingerbread and some s'mores that I got some stuff to decorate. Maybe some bows too. But thank you. Bye for now.